Hello guys, Mr. Agophobia here. Today I've got you a build I've put together with the Vindicator, new Descent exotic. It's easily obtainable. All you have to do is come play a few games of Descent. You can most likely do it in one game, get the amount of currency that you need to obtain it, and it's pretty easy to get. But if you like my content guys, like and subscribe, and let's get straight into this build. Our first piece of gear is the mask. 2 pieces, 15% crit chance, which you need with this gun because the mods are not very good. Third piece is 30% reload speed, that's always good. Fourth piece is from the shadows into light while in cover, gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 1% critical damage increase and 0.3% rate of fire. Buff does not apply while shooting from cover. While out of cover, agents lose 2 stacks per second at normal speed and 1 stack per second if sprinting. While out of cover and in combat, gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 0.8% armor regen when it is consumed. Stacks consume 10 stacks per second only in cover. So all that might be hard to understand guys when you read it, but quick and easy explanation is so when you get in cover, your armor will regen, and that will deplete your armor regen bar. But when you're in cover, it will build up your crit hit bar. So when you exit cover, all your crit hit that you've stacked when you're in cover will apply to your gun. So when you're out of cover, you'll get loads more crit damage and loads more rate of fire, basically. So when that bar runs out, just jump back into cover and your armor will regen, but it will take away your crit damage and your rate of fire while you're in cover. That's the best way I can describe it for you. But the gear set's really good. So for the mask, our core is blue. Attributes are 10.6% critical hit damage. You can max these out to 12%. The mod is 6% critical hit chance. The holster we're using is Umbra as well. Core attributes is a blue. Attributes are 12% critical hit damage. Our third piece of Umbra are the gloves we're using. The core attribute is a blue. Attributes are 12% critical hit damage. Our fourth and final piece of Umbra is the chest piece. Core attribute is 15% weapon damage. Attributes are 12% critical hit damage and 6% critical hit chance. And the reason we're using the chest piece is because we get 50% more crit damage and we get more RPM with our rifle, which is good. Our fifth piece of gear I'm using is the named Overlord ornaments, Fox's Prayer knee pads, which gives us 10% rifle damage for our Vindicator. Core attribute is 15% weapon damage, 8% damage to targets out of cover, and 12% critical hit damage. And damage to targets out of cover is good because you have 10% on your rifle already. The sixth piece and final piece of this build is the named Nangmo backbone backpack. I decided to use this because you get a lot of damage from it. The first attribute is 20% explosive resistance, not the best, but I don't think there's any other kind of brand set that gives you rifle damage. Core attribute is 15% weapon damage, 8% weapon handling and 6% critical hit chance. Try and replace that weapon handling with crit damage guys if you're farming for this build. The mod is 6% critical hit chance, so all our mods for the chest, the mask and the backpack are 6% critical hit chance because the mods don't give you any crit chance or crit damage. But the talent for this backpack is perfectly unstoppable force. Killing an enemy increases total weapon damage by 7% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 5 times, grenade kills add 2 stacks. So our weapon that we're using is the Vindicator exotic that you get from Descent. The core attributes are 15% rifle damage, 17% critical hit damage. That's the reason I'm using Umbra, because you get loads of crit damage as well. Attributes are 10% damage to targets out of cover. And the talent is Ortiz Assault Interface. While scoped, the weapon will highlight a random body section of each enemy. The weapon deals 75% weapon damage, which that is not right. It's 40%. It got nerfed from the PTS. So it does 40% weapon damage to highlighted body sections. The reason I stacked into crit damage and not headshot damage is because you're not always aiming for the head because of this talent. so I thought crits would be better. But those are the mods that you get. You don't get any crit damage or crit chance mods because the scope is accuracy, the grip is stability, the muzzle has optimal range, and a 5+ mag. So this is the second gun I'm using, the mop shotgun. Remember, this will shoot faster and it will have more crit damage when you're out of cover, guys. So 15% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, and 10% armor on kill. And the talent I'm using is Preservation. Killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds. Headshot kills improve the repair by an additional 10%, so potentially 30% armor on kill. And you have the armor regen when you get back in cover. And those are the mods I'm using with that gun. So the sidearm I decided to use was the Orbit, the named pistol. I believe you can only get it from named caches and the Dark Zone. Core attributes are 15% pistol damage, 10% damage to targets out of cover, and the talent is Perfect Finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. So if you can utilise this pistol, guys, which I do all the time, you get a kill with this pistol, swap to your Vindicator and you'll have max crit chance. Without it you'll have 50%, and you'll have 260% crit damage, I believe, with the Vindicator, which is a lot of damage. And the mod is those. First skill I'm using is the Crusader, because you're always getting in and out of cover, so when you're out of cover you pull your shield out, it'll be pretty tanky, and you can use your rifle. But the shield is tier 4 because you have 3 blues and the Technician 3 skill tier, so 4. And those are the mods I've got on. The second skill I'm using is the Holographic Decoy, tier 1 because we get a free skill tier from the Technician, and those are the mods as well. But this is the overall build: 4-piece Umbra, the named backpack, and the Fox's Prayer knee pads, the Vindicator and the mop for armor on kill, the shield and the decoy. But I'll show you the stats now. So this is the Vindicator stats: 49% critical hit chance and 120% critical hit damage. And when you get out of cover, it will be 220% critical hit damage. And if you can utilise the pistol, you'll have max crit chance and you'll have 260% critical hit damage, which is a lot of damage. But even without the pistol buff, you have 220% crit damage, which is still enough. The shotgun stats is 59% crit chance, so that's pretty good. 103% critical hit damage. But this gun is mainly for armor on kill, but obviously you still have the armor regen from the gear set, which is a good thing as well. But if you decide to change this build, guys, it's just a template, so you can change it how you like. If you run the Umbra backpack, you get more armor regen. So this is the pistol: 54% critical hit chance and 103% critical hit damage. I'll just scroll down the rest of the stats for you. So the specialization I've gone with is the Technician. The main reason is the free skill tier and dismantling. You do more damage to robots, 12%. And I went with 15% rifle damage, and if you're using just a normal rifle, you get the Technician laser pointer if you run spotter on your chest. That's for a different type of build though. 15% increased shotgun damage and 15% sidearm damage, which does a lot of damage, guys. 15%. But that's the build, guys. Give it a go. Let me know what it's like or what you think. Thanks for watching and happy hunting.